The Great Migration, like, you know what I'm saying? The Bronze Nazareth Great Migration album. Yo, what more can I say about the album, man? I fucking loved it. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie in front on y'all. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. Like, I felt like it was a well put together album, man. I felt like Bronze had did his thing on the album from top to bottom, and it was such a well crafted album, man. You know, so with this album, when I first heard this album, it was back in I think 06 or 05 or 06 or whatever. Alright, so I liked it, man. You know, there's a lot of reasons why I like the album, because at the time there was a lot going on in the Wu-Tang world, and there wasn't a lot going on. You know, in 06 everybody was doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the Clan hasn't really put out good music. You know, this was like a real point in time where I kind of felt like Wu-Tang was like almost like dead, you know what I'm saying? And as far as like, you know, putting out hot shit, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those fans who's gonna be like, yo, you know, Wu-Tang is forever, like, you know, whatever. Nothing's forever, you know what I mean? Like, shit, nothing's forever, you know what I mean? But this is the time where I felt like anything that they was putting out was whack, and like, even from the affiliates and shit like that or whatever. So when Bronze puts out this album, I was like, yo, this shit right here, this is it, you know. And I gotta give it to Bronze Nazareth, because he's a great producer. He stays in his pocket, you know what I'm saying? And Bronze is he's a great lyricist, man. He's a great lyricist. Like, you know, Son is actually, he's dope. There's nothing negative I can really say about this album, man. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to his brother, Kevlar 7. You know what I mean? From all the features he had on The Great Migration, it sounded like it was an album that should have came out in 90, like right after like 97, 98, and you know, it was able to compete with you know, a Sons of Man album. It was able to compete with like you know, a Killer Army album, any of the Wu affiliates album back then that was still hot. So, you know, I give it to Bronze because he keeps his own formula. Like, he does his own thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know, Timbo King was on it, Killer Sin, Prodigal Son, 12 O'Clock, you know what I mean? Sean Price. And yo, the beats on it was just like, it was just perfect. Like, you know, the samples was just like, it was like, damn, yo, this is what was missing, you know what I mean, in the Wu-Tang world. The artwork for the album cover was dope, had his logo on it. You know, his bars, everything was structured, it had stories on it, you know what I'm saying? You know, Bronze doesn't have too many type of styles of rhyming because he's like one of those kind of real MCs, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really hear Rakim flipping his shit too many times neither. So it did have stories on it. That album held my attention for a long time because I sincerely felt that it was a great product. It was in the veins of what Wu-Tang was about. Like, what Bronze did on that album was what Wu-Tang was doing with the affiliates and Killer Bees like 10 years prior to that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he kept that foundation, the formula of the rawness of like learning the craft and knowing the technique, knowing when to pull in and when to pull out. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think that I'm glad that he got that he had the success that he had, you know what I mean, during that time in the career of his run. And I know he's still putting out music. I wish that they, you know, the Wu-Tang Clan would actually outsource him and use him, you know what I'm saying, for their next future products and shit like that, because by far, like, you know, he has been one of the most official, like, you know what I mean, like, to me, one of the real last, him and Kevlar, rest in peace, were like the real last official affiliates that came, you know, from that camp, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else after that, I can't even tell you who, like, you know what I'm saying? But to me, it was really them. And I think one time I had told Kevlar that in his inbox, like, yo, man, y'all was like the last real Wu-Tang Clan, Wu-Tang affiliates, like, you know what I'm saying? After y'all, everybody else was just popping up out of everywhere and shit. And and I can see why, you know what I'm saying? I can see why, like, you know. So the Great Migration album, man, it's like I gotta give that album a 4.5 out of 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta give it a 4.5 out of 5 for a lot of reasons. For the fact that it was right on time, you know what I'm saying? For the fact that it was well produced, for the fact that, you know, it had its own identity, for the fact that the features, everything was just what, you know, what was needed at the time, man. It was like a healthy dose of medicine, man. A healthy dose of medicine in the Wu-Tang world. You know what I mean? You know, I even have a song with Bronze Nazareth and Inspector Deck. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're on one track together. I'll link it in the description when I put this video out as well. You know what I mean? You can check it out. Let me know what you think about it. And you know, I mean, I wish that they would outsource him, man, and use him for the next Wu-Tang projects. Like, this is the shit that I don't understand. I don't know if it's a RZA thing where RZA may feel like he don't need to use them, or if it's something that goes down the pipelines of like paperwork or whatever. I don't know. But, you know, I had to revisit that album today, man, and I said, damn, yo, this shit is flawless. Like, when it comes to the beats, like, this is a real product right here. It's a real Wu-Tang product. So, yo, Blondes, keep doing your thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, shout out to Falling Down for linking us, you know what I mean, for that track. And the Great Migration, it gets a 4.5 out of 5 for me. All right, and that's peace. 100.